So yeah, hopefully they'll ask about contestants, about the judges, about the food, about the values, about what the show is actually about. Because it's about people. It's about the people behind the scenes. It's about them being able to show who they are, what they've learned in life, and that would allow us as viewers to gain something valuable from watching other people's experiences. So that should be quite good. Right now they're on. You can watch what they're doing right now. So when they call me in, you can watch it on two. If you've got two screens, maybe your phone and your laptop, you can watch YouTube live on one of them, and then you can watch the Daybreaker show on the other one, especially if you want to do a compare and contrast, because they use green screen here. So where the reporters are sitting, they'll have something in the background, but in reality, it's not there. So they're talking about child trafficking. And the thing with human trafficking, child trafficking, some people think that you have to go abroad for it to be still counts as trafficking. And obviously the fact that you've taken a human being's rights away and you're controlling them in such a way that is exploiting them is not good in any country, and it happens all over the world as well. It's not just Uganda, it happens all over the world. So yes, that is something to raise alarm bells about. So usually when people are going live, they use their phones to track the chat, but I'll have to play it by ear because I don't know if I'll be able to do that. But so I will go back through the chat and I will respond by text afterwards. So I do apologize in advance for that, but hopefully we should find a way forward. So I don't know, as I said, I don't know how long it's going to take for them to call us in, but I need to remember the name. Third thing down, we've got a picture with an army guy. Then below that, we've got Moses and the 10 Commandments. Then below that, it's showing live. And then on the left hand side, it says Daybreaker. It's the news that they're showing at the moment. And it says live in the corner. Keep it on YouTube. Keep it on YouTube. So hopefully everyone's having a good day today. It's bright and early. It's 10 minutes past 7 in Uganda. And sorry, the sound of the thing's a bit loud. The news. It's 10 minutes past 7 in Uganda, and I think I probably had a shower around 2:40 a.m. Then I went back to bed, then started getting ready around maybe 5 o'clock. Then I had to take the kids over to grandparents' house one by one while chasing the dog away. And then I was able to go back and finish off. So this morning I had a little bit of watermelon. In fact, I didn't even drink any water, but I had watermelon anyway. It's got water in it, but I should have had some water. And but I forced myself to have that just so that I had something in the system because it was pretty early. And then I started the journey to go and pick up Priscilla, who's here with me. She says she's shy. So I think we're good to go. We got here about 5 minutes to time. By the time we finished doing things in the car, changing shoes and whatnot, we had about 3 minutes left to come in, but it's good that they are not just starting, but I think we're not ready to go yet. So yes, this is what we are doing right now. It's just waiting. I obviously don't know the questions. I haven't been given the list of questions that they're going to ask, but I'm ready to tell them about the show. Priscilla, you are looking fabulous. Oh, I'm looking fabulous. And hello to Priscilla. Hello, Priscilla. Thank you. So, yeah, tell them about the show. Tell them that it's a reality cooking competition with 9 contestants battling out for the title of the Let's Cook champion. But we follow their stories and their lives as we go through the competition and as we keep on losing contestants until we find our champion, the Let's Cook champion. And that it's about really exposing the challenges of life, successes of life, and how we can learn. No, I don't think the audience can ask questions, but you can post questions on the Facebook page, and that will let them know how popular a thing is or a thing was. So if you go to the Facebook page and say something on there, that would be really good. And yes, and you can start that conversation. If you post a question on the Facebook page, I don't know if there's a way that the reporters actually get. They must do, like Twitter and whatnot. Mordecai, hi. When the presenters are on and people are commenting on Facebook, when people are commenting on Facebook, on the Record TV Facebook page, do the reporters get to know what questions, or if they're asking them questions?
Of course, so
oh, so they don't have like somebody watching and then telling them, oh, by the way, someone's asked a question. Okay. If there are any questions. Okay, so if you want to post questions on the Facebook page, please do that, because there might be a way for them to get the question to the presenter. Thank you, Mordecai. Hey, you logged on to both. Thank you. Thanks, sweetie. Yeah, so ask lots of questions on Facebook, actually, because the more chatter and the more interaction that they have on their Facebook page, the better for them as well. And if you can spread the word for people to go on to Facebook and also watch YouTube, then on the Facebook they might be able to get their questions in. That would be great. So what I'm actually going to do now, I'm going to go on to WhatsApp web, which is really great because you can type, do touch typing rather than on your phone. And I'm going to spread the Facebook page and ask people to ask questions on the Facebook page. And also, I need to share this live stream on WhatsApp as well. But yeah, any questions, just keep on asking them now as well, because it will give me a chance to, anyway, I kind of know what it's all about, but it will give me a chance to, in my head, rehearse what I need to say. So questions are welcome here right now, and then repeat those questions when you get to Facebook. So those of you who are out of the country, you can go to Facebook to keep up to date with what's going on here in Uganda. And those of you in Uganda can just switch to Record TV and watch it directly. So that should be good. So I'm just posting now to say that I am live. Hi all, I'm live. spreading the word. It is quite a bit early. It's 17 minutes past 7 here in Uganda. So let's see some of those questions. So you have said, Mike Times, that you think it's wonderful that the show inspires people and will promote conversations in the offices, homes, and across the nation when people agree, or whether people agree or disagree about who should have left or stayed. Great entertainment and fun at the same time. So exactly. I think with most things, with a lot of things, if you can make it entertaining, then you can capture the attention of the audience. You know, if something's kind of a drag to watch, then regardless of how positive the messages are, regardless of how uplifting or how much someone can get from the message, you might not be able to put your message across because it's not grabbing people's attentions in one way or another, whether with an emotive topic or whether with entertainment. So I think combining those two things, having personal issues, life issues that everyone goes through, that everyone can relate to, and entertainment value is a perfect combination. Because then it allows people to relax, to enjoy, but then also to be able to identify and see someone and say, you know, they're going through that issue and they came out through the other end. Or they thought of setting up an NGO. Oh, I've been really desperate to try something like that. Let me be inspired to go and do that myself. So it should be good to encourage that. And indeed, yes, it is made in Uganda, Mike Times. It is made in Uganda with Ugandans. Obviously, I'm Ugandan by heart. And it's about raising it's about talking, it's about saying it's all well and good having international programs. We all love them. We all love cooking shows. We all love things like Food Network and whatnot. But why can't we have something that's produced in Uganda, the same entertainment value, the same quality that we can identify with and say, that is in Uganda, those are Ugandans, and I can sit down and enjoy it. I'm still accustomed to, it's still giving them the opportunity to be, it's giving them what they're accustomed to by watching international entertainment, but we're making it local. So we're making it so that it's Ugandan contestants. And I think the other thing as well that I want to in the future point out is that we're people of the world. You might have somebody here in Uganda that isn't Ugandan by birth, but has lived here, loves here, and also it's inviting them into the conversation as well so that we know that we're all one people. And that regardless of where you're from, if you're able to identify, we do try our best with those values, then you are one of us in essence, and you should be embraced as one of us. And we need to sort of get away from it's a case of opening our minds, opening our, broadening our horizons, so that we can be exposed to what's out there, respect what is out there, take what we need to take while holding firm to our values, to our culture, to our foods, but then taking what we need to take from other places to enhance what we have. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I need to make sure that I don't say a lot. There was a time when I was doing interviews on BBC Wiltshire and Wiltshire radio stations, and I used to say actually a lot, and I had to sit down and I had to reflect, because while I was doing it, I realized that I was doing it just like I realized I was doing so it's good to think about what you're saying, how you're saying it, and try to adapt so that you can improve your communications, because I don't know if you'd say improve, but just be aware of what you're saying if you have a lot of repetitive words. So I've stopped saying actually now, and I will try my best, see how I do, to not say not. Obviously when you're just linking, sometimes you say. And the challenge that I've set myself, if you look on YouTube, I didn't put it on YouTube. The challenge I've set myself is I'm going to try and introduce a Ugandan word into the interview. The Ugandan word that I've chosen is, oh no, I need to practice now. Ochitegede. Did I say it right? Huh? Oh, how do you say you get? Ochitegera. It's a ra, not re. No, yeah. Ochitegera. Ochitegera. So that's the word that I've chosen, and it's Ochitegera. It's like ra. I think I've been saying Ochitegere. Ochitegera. So I'm going to see if I can remember that. I keep on saying O-T rather than O-Chi. So it's Ochi, then Te. Ochitegera. And Ochitegera, for those of you who don't know, means you understand, you get. So I have to find a way to slip that in. That's my challenge for the day. So we've got a comment here from Mike Times, and for gender balance, it's wonderful for young people and all to see girls and boys, especially to see that the kitchen is not only for girls, it's not only a girl job. Men have a place in the kitchen in Africa. Thank you very much. Well said. And I think by watching the show, one of the contestants really pushed that as well, to say, do you know what? Men can cook, men can mix spices, men can make delicious and gorgeous dishes. Those were exactly his words. Ochitegera. Yay, at least I did it on YouTube. Exactly. It's about showing that there's no reason why that anyone can't cook. There's no reason. People are passionate about food, passionate about cooking, and it's really great that we can show that, inspire people of all sexes and all ages and all abilities to go ahead. This link, if you go to the Facebook page, Producer Matt, you should see a button which says share, and you can copy that link and put it into WhatsApp or wherever you want to do that. So I'm just putting I live now or okay, so I've just shared that now on another place there. So I'm just going to see what we're doing. So I'm actually listening to the audio from a laptop, a computer over there. I'm watching the image on the Facebook page.
It's exciting, it's interesting, it's amazing, something that we might not know.
So let's I'll put a comment there.
And it's much that when you take time and watch it, the difference and other level
we're just listening.
One, it brings all the Bible, but who make the life it's not a little bit most about things like it is everything of the higher situation and it brings in
right.
How loud is
I've just put a message there on the Facebook page. So I've done my bit there. Yes, so with Let's Cook as well, one of the things that we were keen to do is to get people of different ages, different abilities we did try to find, and sometimes as well, it's people getting to know what it is that they're going to be doing. So once it starts moving forward, people would have watched the other episodes and they feel more comfortable, because I really wanted to get older, a lot more older, like the judges, men and women, to come and take part. But those that I knew specifically and I could ask, sort of neighbors, not my kids' judges, but neighbors and whatnot, were a bit sort of apprehensive. Oh my God, cook. And so I think once people sort of see what it's about and what the reality is when you watch it, then they'll be more confident to be like, I can do that. I can actually do that. And hopefully they'll feel at peace. What we were very keen to do as well with the show is we made sure that the contestants had time to mix and mingle and gel. So they didn't go straight into the cooking. Gave them an opportunity to get to know each other, to be able to build up a little bit of that rapport, so that when they got into the kitchen, they actually know who it is that that they're up against. The name is Stephen Moore. Okay, so they've just gone on a break. I've just seen a message there. Let's cook, watching in the diaspora, looking forward to the Daybreaker interview. Yay, thank you for the comment. So if you are on the Facebook page, don't forget to leave at least one comment. And we shall see. So let's see. Yeah, so as I was saying, it's hopefully with the coming seasons, people will feel at least more at ease with understanding what the concept is. And that will allow them to feel like they can apply. And if you do want to apply, then you need to send an email to letuscookcompetition@gmail.com. I'll put that in the chat with your name, your contact number, and a short message as to why you should be chosen for the show. Let us cook. Let us cook. Competition at gmail.com. So send an email to letuscookcompetition@gmail.com. Now, one thing that I always need to make sure I do is use the bathroom before I need to use it. So just in case they call me in any moment, I'm going to see if I can find the ladies, and then I will come back. So I'll just put a message there. Okay. So they started running their ads of Let's Cook on their Facebook page, which is good. So we'll see. Is there a bathroom nearby? Is there a bathroom nearby? Thank you.
My sister, how are you?
Fine.
So what did you do?
She's a YouTuber. She can like help me. That's why. To our audience, Daybreaker. If she just attended well, so my name is Nora Stanley, and you guess right, this time this is when we get to know what is happening across the borders of Uganda with the Daybreaker.
Yes, thank you, Lord. Saying it is a Daybreaker, and for this particular segment, it is beyond borders. We take you beyond the borders of Uganda to the rest of Africa, to the rest of Asia, and to the rest of the world. And we will start with our neighbors. We go to our neighbors in Africa, as well as outside Africa today. Because it is our Friday, why not? And it is just 9 days. Most of the world, but as well, bring us closer to the other half of the year 2019. We'll start with Ethiopia. Now, we tell you about the Ethiopian internet where it has been shut down for a number of its purpose. There are no the internet is back now. 1 week after a web blackout in the country, internet and text messages were restored yesterday. Ethio Telecom, the country's mobile service provider, says now no regulation should understand Chirila who should execute their so Ethiopia's mobile provider that you are active during this channel. Now, it's
Which one? Yeah, it's been on since. Yeah. No. That's why it was here. See? That's what I commented on. Yeah, it's there. I think they started it. Okay, I'm back. I am back. Hello. I'm back. So yeah, as a producer, you've got like so many things on your mind, so many things to do. For example, I need to call the editor that I'm using for season 2 and ask the person to bring in the flash drive that I gave them so that I can put more footage on. I sent a message on WhatsApp. I sent a message on the text. So hopefully they got that. So I should just make this call. It's all about using from behind the scenes.
We might see a war happening in Iran and really with the United States. Then the money now speaker of the US has been saying that he has been told the president that Iran should stop the airways and control. It must be adequately settled, not removed, because it is important.
Just ringing at the moment.
Rather than encouraging, rather than actually encouraging. Now that is a road that was shut down actually.
Now it's interesting because the air is changing. I can see some fog in the distance, but it's clearing up. You can see that the sun's coming out and it's going to start to get warmer throughout the day. It was nice being up early actually. Getting here on time. Okay, the subscriber you've called is not. That's fine. Okay, see the message. So, we shall see when they will get also calling. I'm not sure on the Daybreaker show when they usually have guests. I think it's after this segment, which is called Beyond Borders. But we'll see. They're talking about shooting down a US drone. But yeah, if you're out and about, out of the country, it's a good way to catch up on Ugandan news. Just going to the Record TV Facebook page in the morning and then watching the Daybreaker. Obviously, depending on your time zones, it might not work for you, but if it does, then that's a great way to catch up on news live. So let's have a look now. So yeah, with a lot of things like this, sometimes you are waiting around. So just be prepared to either think about what you're going to be doing or write it down, or do something else while you're waiting. I remember I used to do some acting work and do extras work, and you would sit there for the whole day and they'd only use you for like 5 minutes. But it was fine because people would bring books, people would bring their laptops, people would bring work and actually do work. When they're called on to set, they get called on, they walk behind the scenes or whatever they need to do and then come back. And then the other good thing as well is if you're with other people, if you're with a lot of people, then you can actually chat and interact. And you're meeting new people every day as well when it was on a set like that. So that was always interesting. And then when lunchtime came, for me, that was the best. Breakfast and lunch. But yeah, the key is make sure that so you can use that time. So by talking here anyway, I'm realizing the different things that I would like to talk about, which is they are, what challenges they've been through in life, what successes they've had, how they deal with setbacks, who inspires them. So lots and lots of things that allow us to get to know that person, get to fall in love with them, and really want to wish them forward in the competition. And so that's really on their current situation and where they want their future situation to be as well. So these people have actually come on to something that they don't have any clue about. I like cooking, I don't know what this is about, but I think that I could win and I think that I can add something of value to it. So it's an encouragement really for other people out there who maybe have a challenge or have an opportunity, that they too can jump into it, grab it with both hands, and make the most of it so that other people can grow and other people can learn. So that really is one of the main things, or the main thing really is about the lives and the stories of the people. The other thing to point out is that the judges aren't professional chefs. They are people that have had experience from around the world, even in places like Iraq, Lithuania, places that you think, who's going there? Juba, Australia. And as a result of that, they're able to come with a varied experience of taste and flavor. And they were specifically told to judge the contestants on presentation and taste. So they're not bringing in any, everyone has biases, but they're not bringing any specific biases of, oh, you didn't cut the julienne vegetables perfectly and your speed, you were very slow cutting your onions. They're not, the contestants are real people, they're not chefs, and it's about showing that the ordinary person can enjoy and love cooking and they have a story behind them. So we didn't want the contestants to feel like they were being criticized for something that they shouldn't know anyway. We wanted them to rest assured that they were going to be judged fairly and put on an even playing field, so that even if they made something international, the judges were able to appreciate the taste and comment on it. If they made something local, the judges were able to appreciate the comments, the taste, and comment on it. So it wasn't a case of, oh my goodness, you made Chinese, beef, something with ginger. No, that's not my taste because I'm Ugandan. It's not that at all. The judges were Ugandan for season 1, but their experience in terms of being able to appreciate different foods locally and internationally, so that we didn't restrict the contestants to anything. With the raw ingredients, they were able to cook whatever it is they wanted to cook. So, and you should see the things that they came up with. So hopefully I'm not going to use up my voice here and then be like, I know some people do lives for like 24 hours. Some people do like 24-hour lives. So I shouldn't be complaining. So let's see what they've got on their Facebook page. It's still beyond borders. It's still beyond borders. Okay, so we shall see when we are up. But thank you for joining me, and maybe get that there. Can you tell me what the time is in the UK?
Before the presentation of the planning action, that was one of the guys she put in saying, our teachers are not being paid. What are we doing? We are now presenting while our studies are not being paid. Because of that race.
Can you tell me what time it is in the UK? And I can. I think it's 6 a.m., is it? I think it's 2 hours behind, right?
It shows that it is also the priorities and dollars speaker for some reality. Most of the raise are hard thing. But I don't like the way.
Right, I'm just sending out a message.
Facebook is not like that. You must remember giving comments. But
so I will, I may also send that to So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to spread the word of the YouTube live on WhatsApp. 5:44. So it's 5:44 in the UK, and there's somebody else in the room. What time is it in the country that you're in? Yes, I've seen that message. 5:44. 5:44 in the UK. So you're 2 hours behind us in the UK. In Uganda, sorry. We've started our day. It was asking me whether I wanted to hide the message or show it. So I don't know what's wrong with 5. Maybe it's because you put the at sign, at greater than. I don't know. But we'll see. So yes, where was I going to send that then? So yes, that's very, very early in the UK. So I really appreciate you setting your alarm and coming to watch. Much appreciated, much appreciated. Much appreciated. Okay, so we shall. Remembered, but then I forgot again to send it to them. I didn't write it down. Was the season 1 contestants. So I've done that right now. Oh, connection is unstable. Oh, there's still battery, which is good. So yes, I think that's one of the things that if you watch the YouTube videos, you'll realize somewhere to sit. So I usually go to a meeting, if I've got a meeting or whatever, out and about, especially in a place like Kampala, because the connection is unstable. Because of traffic jams and work that I need to do during that time, or I go to a cafe or something like that, have a little bite to eat, and then use that table that works. Or if it's really difficult to park and I need to get the parking space beforehand, I park up and then I work from the car. So my time wisely, and I'm not sort of rushing out of the house to try and get somewhere in time. I'm there beforehand. I'm able to breathe, relax, focus on either that thing that I'm doing, or know that mentally I've wrapped that thing up and I'm ready for that, then do other work. So it's utilizing my time so that I can get the most out of it.
Well, thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you. I have a here, and I am
so. Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Pardon? Lost? No, waiting to go on the Daybreaker. Yeah, are they aware? I hope they're aware. They should be. Maybe. Are you able to find out? Are you able to find out? Just to make sure. Elizabeth and Ngero. But I'm sure they're in Ngero, but let's go. Thank you. So I'm just making sure. Yeah, I just double checked. I just made sure that they are aware that we're supposed to be coming on at some time. It's always good to double check, isn't it? Yes, so here I am waiting to go on, but again, going over the main concepts, the fact that it's about people's lives, people's stories, the fact that it's about learning from those people and identifying with those people. And of course, it's an entertainment show. So you're going to laugh, you will definitely cry for the finals. I'm not revealing anything. My lips are sealed. You need to watch it from start to finish. And yes, gain those attachments with people. But strangely enough, even though I was there, because I was a presenter on the show, even though I was there and I was present, every time I watch the finals, I can't help but shed a tear. So, yes, it'll be good to see what emotions you experience when you watch the show, and also because it's going to be broadcast live on Facebook, those that are outside of the country are able to watch the show via the Record TV Facebook page while it's on screen. Once it's off screen, then it will be off the Facebook page, but while it's on screen, it will be on, and you'll be able to comment. So put your comments in there. What I'll do is I'll encourage the contestants to also go on the Facebook page if they can and respond to that. Oh, amazing. Thank you. Hello.
How?
Fine, thank you. You are Stephen?
Yes, my name is
Elizabeth Ngero.
Nice to
I'm
meet you.
live on YouTube. So this is Stephen, the presenter for Daybreaker.
My name is Stephen, and this is Elizabeth. As I've known right now, when I thought I was going to be getting on the air in a few minutes, we are going to discuss
Let's Cook.
Let's
Cooking
Cook.
Entertainment. It's a reality cooking show.
Reality.
So you know you're a reporter, so you can dig in and ask me all the questions.
Oh!
And you're going to be live on Facebook as well as we're doing it. So people are going to be chatting.
Exactly.
People from Nigeria, from America, from England. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Mike James. I'm so excited as well to join this audience, which is really great. But as well, they could as well watch on my Facebook.
We've told them already. We put the link to the Facebook page.
Exactly. We are going to have a number of minutes to talk about cooking, ladies, how to change our dinings, sitting things and everything. And she's an expert. Me, I'm so into the journalism bit. Mine is going to be real about asking the questions and everything.
Yeah.
We are going on site together, right?
Okay.
And we'll be just in a few minutes from now. Like at 8:21, I think we'll be there, right?
At 8:21.
8:21, we'll be there.
Oh, so 21 minutes. I thought you meant like in 3 minutes.
Oh, you want to know what I've realized we need an editing job. Let's have it.
Yeah, that'd be
Let's
good.
really have it.
That'd be good. And the thing is, it's an entertainment show, reality entertainment show. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to tell people how to cut onions. How to, it's more of follow the lives of these people who've come to compete, watch their journey, and learn from their life experiences. So
just keep going. Let's be preparing. I'm right to be back.
Okay. Yes, yeah, because it's good to go YouTube live in the studio. So I thought, okay, if they don't want to go live on YouTube, that's fair enough, that's fine. What I'll do is I'll capture some images on my GoPro 7, and that will just be for my personal records. But it seems like we don't need this. It seems like we don't need this. We will be going live on the laptop. That's if the battery holds out, because we've still got 20 minutes left. So, hello, this is Africa. Hello, this is Africa. So actually, I think I might need to. Oh yes, again, Davin. Where are you watching from? I'm assuming that you're watching from Nigeria, but you could be in America, you could be in the UK, you could be in Austria. Where are you watching from?
Explain the role and what they know about Egypt. These were officials from the
Oh, is that a Ugandan? It looks like a Nigerian name. Oh yes, CPA.
I think it could be.
Could be a Ugandan name. Okay. So it looked like, to me, it looked like, because I have a friend that's called Osagi. So it looked like it was kind of a Nigerian name. But are you actually Ugandan though? Or are you from another part of Africa living in Uganda like me? Oh, it's a Ugandan name. Okay, you see, I learn something new every day. Because just the look of it just looks like Nigerian. So it's great to have the Ugandans in the house. We're representing Uganda here with Let's Cook. And what I was saying before is it's great that you have things like Food Network and different shows like MasterChef and Bake Off. But why can't we have something of high quality produced here in Uganda that feature the people that live here in Uganda? Is there any reason why we can't? I don't think so. Hence why I decided to bring this to Uganda, so that we can actually have, Ugandans experiencing this sort of thing, and also the people that are going to watch it can start to experience things like this, and hopefully it will just snowball in the terms of other people will continue the trend. So come on board, go onto the Record TV Facebook page and put a comment there. When we're on in about 20 minutes, make sure you go to the Record TV Facebook page, then you've got your screen open maybe on your phone for YouTube, and put a comment on the Facebook page. I am Ugandan by marriage, okay, and by heart. So I'm married to Ugandan. I've been married to Ugandan now for 13 years. And but my mother was Ghanaian, so from Ghana, and my dad was from Nigeria. So, and I was born and grew up in the UK. So I've got a mix, yeah. And I also lived in Ireland as well. So I've got a mix of different places and experiences, and yes, so I bring all of that to it as well. And this is Africa, is married to a Kenyan, and he's also been married for 12 or 13 years. So that's quite interesting. It's nice how you can have a connection with a country based on your spouse, and you fall in love. I don't know if what this is Africa's experiences, but I guess it's quite similar to mine because he's got a YouTube channel called This Is Africa that really highlights what Africa is like, highlights the progresses in Africa, highlights the things that need to be done and are going to be done, highlights the people of Africa. So, but originally he's American. So yes, it's one of those things, I'm saying so a lot now. It's one of those things that once you attach to a place and you start to fall in love with that place, it's within your bones to try and tell other people about it. You're like, oh, have you been to Uganda? I mean, my husband and I brought quite a few people to Uganda to experience Uganda, to fall in love with Uganda, and people that would have never thought of Uganda as a holiday destination at all, that had never thought even of Africa. Oh, go to Africa, I've never really thought of that. But because they had somebody to go with to Africa, then it meant that they had a reason to come, and they had somebody who could take them around and show them what it was like as well. Because I know with Uganda, there are lots of missionary types of people that come here. So people do, like younger people also do missionary work. They go to school. Ugandans like to experience it, to come home with us and have an authentic experience with a Ugandan family while learning about the culture, while experiencing Africa with very African, positive African vibes. So little by little, a bird makes its nest, and little by little will allow people to see the beauty that we have here if they haven't seen it already. And, all over the world, there's so many beautiful places, so many wonderful things to experience. So to be able to experience it through the means of media, by those in the diaspora, they can watch the Record TV Facebook page and experience Let's Cook. They can see what the environment is like. They can see what the types of foods are like. And they can also see what it's like out on the streets as well, because in the finals, I don't want to reveal too much. But in the finals, the contestants have to go off-site. So they get to see a bit of Uganda outside the set perimeters. So yes, it's about exposing people to something that they may never have experienced before and giving them a reason to look at us, giving them a reason to look at Uganda, because otherwise there's just so many places out there that are also just as beautiful as Uganda, but it's highlighting that yes, Uganda is beautiful. The food is fresh, the environment is lovely, we've got warm weather. Even when it rains, it's warm for me. I know when it rains here, or in the morning, people are like wrapped up with jumpers. I mean, Priscilla next to me, she's like wearing a really thick jumper. When I saw her this morning, I was like, oh my goodness, she's gonna be hot. But for me, I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is nice and cool, different, but in a lot of ways, but then we're all the same. And it's exposing ourselves to the differences in each other so that it becomes normal, so that it's not like, oh my goodness. So they use their hands to eat fufu. It doesn't become something strange because you're like, oh yeah, in that place you use your hands. That in England you use your fingers to eat chips when you're out on the street, fish and chips, And then in another country they'd be like, what? You eat walking on the street? I remember my husband always used to tell me that in Uganda people don't walk while they're eating on the streets, and I'm yet to see if that's true or not. But to be honest, I don't really find. Do you find people eating on the street? No. So even if you buy street food, when you buy like a Rolex on the street, what do people do? They have to stand there and eat it, or they have to hide somewhere and eat it?
Sometimes they're like
so sometimes it's like a bench, you can sit down and eat it there. But it's not the same. In Europe, it's perfectly acceptable to have your fish and chips with your newspaper and be walking along wherever, eating your fish and chips, or your sandwich when you're rushing through work sandwich. So when you can understand that there are differences and that it's acceptable in some places but maybe not in others, then it allows you not to say, well, I wonder why they do that there. What's the reason? Okay, the reason why they're eating it and walking on the street maybe is because the time that they have to clock into work and out of work isn't enough. It could be that just over time people have been accustomed to socializing. You know, if you're out with your family, then you want to sit down and have something to eat. If you are just you going to work or a work colleague, then you might want to eat and chat as you're walking to the building, so that when you get into the building, you're ready to start work again. Excuse me, I'm getting a frog in my throat. So yeah, it's good to learn about other cultures and all the other people, so peoples, groups of people, but always have that inquisitive mind rather than sort of rejecting it and saying, what's the reason behind that person doing that? Is that what that person is doing? Is their intention to be rude, or is their intention peace sign to be? But for them, they did the peace sign, but backwards. Now, in other cultures, like in the UK, if you do the peace sign, but you turn your fingers around so that it's the back of your fingers you see, but just the two of them, then that's actually swearing. That's actually a swear word. And then you do the peace sign backwards. If somebody is the type of person that isn't eager to learn why someone's doing something, they'll immediately accuse you of abusing them, you know, without sort of asking the question, did I do something to offend you? And then the person will be able to say, oh, why? Oh, because you said, for those of you who know what that word is, to me. And then that person can then explain where they're coming from. So even with Let's Cook, whichever situation a person is in, they're explaining where they're coming from. And then it's for us as the viewers to be able to absorb and learn what it is that they're telling us, and then apply that into our day-to-day lives. So yes, be always eager, because we're going to have, especially with YouTube, we've got lots of people from all different parts of the world. Be always eager to seek to understand why that person is doing that thing, and then it will help you as an individual to grow and to learn. So that next time you know, they do this in that country. So when I go to India or whatever, or when I go to someone's house, maybe in the UK who's Muslim or whatever, I can take my shoes off, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. So it's always good to learn. I think we've got 10 minutes until we're on the Facebook page. Let me just have a check to see what's going on there. Oh, it says the live video is interrupted. I wonder why. Let me refresh the page. If that's happened to you, just refresh the page. Yes, it's back on now. So you can see on the Facebook page live, they've got it's got at the back, they've got like a screen with the what do you call it, a design and some buildings in the background. So when we go in there, we'll see, is that what they actually have on the ground or not? We'll be able to see that, how things work behind the scenes. So yes, I think that's very important to try and learn. I remember my father-in-law told me a story about, he always uses the word cross-culture. Yay, 10 minutes to go. He uses the word cross-culture and how we need to learn about each other's cultures to be able to live harmoniously. And he talks about the experiences that he's had in different countries. And I think there was a time he went to, was it India? I was with an Indian family, and he was touching his nose. I think he had an itch or something and he touched his nose. And someone told him later on that don't do that, especially when you're in the presence of ladies, because by doing that it means something else, which isn't good. So he learned not the hard way, but someone had to tell him, because for him he was just doing something normal. My nose itching me, I just itch it on the side, you know. So be eager to learn and understand why someone is doing something. Even if the person has done something that has offended you or has made you upset, you know, road rage or whatever, sit down and reflect. Just take a minute, reflect on why is that person acting in that way. And that can help you to deal with the situation in a better way as well. Why is that person doing that? Do I need to ask some questions to find out the reasons why that person is doing that? I don't think they'll play the clip of Let's Cook on the show because it's more of a live show. So it's more of a discussion. It's more of a discussion show rather than sort of a promotional show kind of thing. But it's there as a sort of this is coming soon. But yeah, that would be quite interesting. So just in the chat, how many of you have had experiences where there's been a miscommunication and misunderstanding, whether it's because of different cultures or different perceptions? And what did you learn from that situation? It'll be good to find out. Questions are a very beautiful thing because sometimes people don't get asked questions and they just continue in the same pattern. And then other people form assumptions about them. Yes, that would be a good idea, but I'm not sure. They're actually on set now. I'm not sure who to speak to about that. Let me see if I can give a contact that I've got on here, see if he's on site, and see if he is able to arrange that, because that is, because it would be good for people to know what they're actually talking about. Let's cook, what is it? Instead of my words explaining, it'll be good for them to actually watch the trailer to see what it's about. Now, there should be a way. Oh, this is Africa. I think I have to be on Google Hangouts to be able to share the video, don't I? So that you can watch it on the screen. But I wonder if there would have been a way for me to show it here on YouTube as well. If you have the answer to that, please let me know. Then I can see you, I can show you. That is our Lord. I'm going to see if I can get the number. I don't think I saved the number. So yes, so you have to be on Google Hangouts, don't you, to share the screen? Shame. Oh, the only way I could show it is if I put it on my phone. I mean, to you guys right now, because some of you might be in the group who haven't seen the trailer. Yes. Good morning. Hi, is that Carol? Good morning, Carol. You ready? Okay. Okay. I was hoping to get hold of Joel, but it's time for me to go on. Yeah, that's fine. I can call on him. So we're just going into with the presenter to talk before the show. So it's good for you to know as well that before they go and do things, they interview the guests just so that they know which lines to follow when they're questioning people.
So what is basically, before you go for the show, what are the main key parts that you want to highlight in this show?
The main key parts are the fact that it's about people's lives and stories, for them to share it and for us to be able to identify with them and learn from their life experiences.
And then what, besides the lives and stories, how about where does the food comes in and everything?
The food is food obviously that we've got here from Uganda, and then we want it to be as organic as possible. So we've told the contestants that they're not allowed to use branded mixed things that are already mixed, like seasoning cubes and things like that. They have to use the natural herbs and blend the spices themselves. Salt and pepper, paprika, turmeric. So it's all about being natural and avoiding things like MSG and E numbers, preservatives, and that type of thing.
What do you intend by telling people that it should be as organic as possible? What is your main focus?
The main focus really is the fact that we eat a lot. We have to eat to survive, right? And what you put in your mouth has an impact on what you put out in life. So it can affect your health, your well-being, your mental state as well. You know, what you eat can affect your mental state. So that's just one of the things that's an aside that we're able to push out there. I mean, there's one contestant on the show called Hakeem Vanika, and unfortunately he lost a family member, and what that motivated him to do and the rest of his family was to change their diet, was to eat organic food, was to make sure that they're not using a lot of oil, they don't drink sodas, and as a result of something happening in their family, they turn that to actually benefit the whole family by learning from their experiences. So just as, you know, that family has learned from their experiences, by watching the show, others can be like, oh, hold on a second, I could change my diet a bit. I could be more conscious about what's in my food.
How about the places where we eat? Isn't it also something we must really consider?
Now it's difficult, isn't it? Because when you go talk about eating out somewhere, unless you have a relationship, let's say, with the owner and you're able to look behind the scenes, we don't know what they're putting in the food, really, to be honest, do we? But then you can go to places who pride themselves on having organic ingredients and cooking things like steaming things and making things in a healthy way.
So what is the main theme of this particular thing?
Of the show. The main theme is inspiring people through the lives of the contestants.
And
so if they could do it,
what is the contest going to be called?
The show, it's Let's Cook. It's called Let's Cook. Now I wonder, are they able to show the trailer?
Yes, you have let me see the trailer.
The trailer, your design team should have the trailer. It's been running on your Facebook.
Oh, if it's been running on Facebook, then we have it there. They will show it.
But do they know to show it on this, on this segment?
In this segment, they have it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They have been running it on Facebook.
Yes, they have.
You have a copy here?
I do have a copy here.
Let me see.
I can go to the. It's easier for me to go to the YouTube page because the trailer has the record TV. Then the surname is Ngero. N for November, G for golf, ERO. And it's pronounced Ngero. Yes. And Ngero means brother. Yeah. And then the tagline for Ngero Productions is bringing stories to life.
Let's go and have the list. We are getting on set. We are getting the people business. Let's get on set Ngero.
And the production company is Ngero Productions.
Oh.
Ngero Productions. So.
Okay. Hello, eating. Let's cook.
Let's cook. Oh. We need the internet and we need that. Be careful. Thank you.
And the phone say on?
The phone, I believe it would be better if maybe taken on screen because we are going to be showing you. We need some improved 3D picture of everything that goes on here. Some maybe a screen.
What should be showed on the screen? Sorry?
Yeah, this one on the screen it's fine to be shown. But there we need to it's improved because it's a background and the background will have to be changed.
Sorry,
This is
I was saying, can I take my phone there?
your phone? Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I told you to leave it.
Because I need to inside.
Yes, I need to know the Facebook chat.
Please. Yes.
And
I told you yes. House eating. Let's go. Okay, let's go.
I'm glad people saw
Okay,
this.
let's go close eating and also oh, please. No,
She's
you need to see this. That is just coming. Let's cook. You need to be mindful and see what you need.
So I don't know if the graphics
I'm
team have to train us.
to take the other because this will be improved. What do you think? Because this is a great.
No, I know, we're trying to show people what happens behind the scenes. We told them to go to the Facebook page to make comments.
Okay. It is on, digital. It has been actually really on, so you just need to fix it.
Did we manage to? Hi everyone. Hi everyone. I can't see who's in from there, but keep your questions coming. They were asking them. Yes, I'm
You know, I'm concerned about the output. Maybe after many since the focus will build a now.
We are waiting.
Don't you think, please, like the focus of the screen, like getting the quality of the picture, how is the other side?
looking at the screen. So because on the screen.
Yes, once again, good morning. It is Record Television because we said that reinvent is our plan, and we actually say, as the Daybreaker, put some food in your morning actually watching the Daybreaker. I told us today is Friday, and we are getting closer. It's only 9 days left to close of the month of June, bring us closer to the other half of 2019. It is a topical discussion, and today being a Friday, as we are getting into weekend, how about we talk about food and people's lives, the people's values and everything. And for this particular segment, I thought of no one other than Elizabeth Ngero to have this discussion. Welcome.
Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
Good morning, Daybreakers.
How was your morning past?
My morning's been beautiful because we're here in sunny Kampala. I'm enjoying the weather. I'm enjoying the freshness of being here in Africa.
Oh, in Africa.
Yes.
From where is your homeland?
My homeland is Africa.
Yeah.
My mother was Ghanaian, and my father was from Nigeria. And my husband of 13 years is from Uganda.
Oh,
That's where my heart is.
Thank you so much. Your heart is in Uganda. Yours is Christian. Your heart is in Uganda. Nigeria.
Just as in Uganda,
You really got it. It's so cool. Why should people be just mindful of?
I think food is a really hot topic, especially at the moment. And if you think about it, how often do people eat? You say probably 3 times a day with snacks in between. So what we're putting into our body, we have to be really mindful of. Because what we put into our body, we put out, whether it's in terms of production, whether it's in terms of how we feel, how our body feels, how our mind feels, how we operate. So food is a very key thing that we need to be conscious of.
Really, now let's move. Why let's move? What is the competition really going to be about in this? What is going to be our main focus?
Well, to start off with, what I wanted to do was actually produce something here in Uganda. So Ngero Productions chose Uganda to come and do this because we have so many things out there like Food Network, we've got things like MasterChef, Great British Bake Off, and there are Ugandans watching these programs, which is fantastic, and I love them myself. But why can't we have something of the same entertainment value and the same quality, but here in Uganda, featuring real Ugandans with Ugandan cuisine and, you know, mixing that with international. So why can't we have that?
Exactly.
So that's why I thought, let's go, we need to start off in Uganda. And what it is basically is we have 9 contestants who share their stories, share their values, share their lives while competing in a cooking competition. And only one of them can walk away as the Let's Cook champion. So it'll be very interesting. There'll be lots of twists and turns. So it's not just watching people cook, it's actually watching their life stories as they compete in the competition.
Exactly. Now, let's cook and those eating and people's values. As we're looking for this, you say you studied here in Uganda. I'm real anxious and think that this because you like to see it. So why is it so important that people want to share their stories as well?
Yes, I think it's important for us all to share our stories in life in general. Because when we share our stories with each other, we can learn from someone else. We can see something from another person's vantage point. We can see where that person's coming from. We can expose ourselves to things that we wouldn't have considered because we haven't experienced it ourselves. And when we do that, I think we become people that are willing to treat others with fairness and with kindness because we understand where they're coming from. So I think that's really important, sharing our stories. I mean, I can learn a lot from you in your day-to-day life.
Exactly, and one thing to share around and maybe perhaps I learn as well to let's cook and the contestants. So it is really important. Now, when you talk about health eating and people's lives, what comes to my mind is a story I've been following for some time. I followed the Obama presidency.
Okay.
Obama presidency, her wife is Michelle Obama.
Yes.
One of the key projects of Michelle Obama was let's move health eating. He looked at white obesity. Do you see at a level where let's cook is reaching that level where it's addressing
I think it already has. Because even in, at the moment with Record TV, we've got 2 seasons that are coming through. But even with the first season, we had a contestant there who had a life experience, and unfortunately they lost someone in their family. Now, as a result of that tragedy, they chose as a family, well, I think it was one person that started off, to change their eating habits, to change the way that they dealt with food, so that they were looking at food in a way to improve their lives, rather than just something that they put in their mouth. And as a result of that, the whole family was affected, and the whole family was able to change their outlook on food. So by watching those types of stories, your viewers, as they come in to watch Let's Cook, can also be inspired. Well, hold on a second. Let me think about what I'm putting in my mouth. When I go to the supermarket, let me look at the ingredients. What have they actually put in what they're giving me? And as a result of that, we can, one by one, change our own eating habits and then inspire others to do the same.
In other words, I appreciate the beauty of stories, like how people, in times of tragedy, some of us resent and cut off connection and cut off our thinking and minds. But I appreciate that even in times of tragedy, people go forward and say, how all these food as a family, they need to bring us together around a particular focus. How did that one come to? How did it touch you as a leader like Ngero?
Yes. I think really it touched a point which I'm very keen on, in taking your life situations, whether positive or negative, and turning it around for good in your life. So even if it's a positive situation, sit down and think, how did I learn from this situation? Reflect on why it went well and repeat the cycle. If it's a negative situation, what can I learn from this situation? Don't let it just beat you down and I feel sorrowful. But yes, you can go through the grieving process, but what can I learn as a result of this? How can I turn this situation into a positive and add value to my life? So I think by watching the contestants, you can, whether they're going to be asked so many questions on the show, you'll find out how they deal with setbacks, you'll find out who inspires them in life and why, you'll find out if they give back to the community, and all those different things can actually add value to our lives.
I know before we actually get to the level of contestants, let's start with Elizabeth here. As we're talking about food and let's cook, who inspires you, Ngero?
That's a good one. I think in life I've been inspired and I've been influenced by many things. My faith is something that's influenced me very much. And as a result of that, I sort of walk with the attitude of love over So starting with the initial point of loving God, that allows me to treat everyone, regardless of who they are, as a human being, as an individual. And then as a result of that, hopefully that spills out to other people. So that's what inspires me, is loving God, and as a result, loving people.
Love God, love people.
Simple.
It is more of wrapping up Jesus' commandment to us. Love God with your heart and everything.
Mind and soul and
That's why love your neighbor. So for Ngero is loving God and loving people. Yeah, let's zero it down. Let's try to break it down. Is there any person out there who you're like, if I look at this person really inspires me to be better, to really be better, and perhaps be better as we're looking at what it is, because we're not only just looking at, but we're looking at the stories as well.
That's right. I think you need to be a contestant on that score, because this is exactly what they went through. So you'll be ready with your answers. Now the tables have turned, it's on me, right? So I need to help people to learn. Inspiration-wise, for me, I would say that it starts very new. It's very much within. My husband, who is a lawyer, he works in the UK. He's Ugandan, as you know. You might
Just like your heart is in Uganda, but the Ghanaian and Nigerian
are still there. I know you show Nigerian movies on national TV, don't you? He inspires me a lot, and I think the project, because it's a bit of my history. I've done many jobs in this world. And before coming on to go into production, I worked with the police in the UK, delivering training to people. So that's where my sort of trying to educate people about how to use their time and all those types of things come from. That's my area. And I trained in the law as well. But when we decided to make the switch after having my second child, it was a case of let's come together. And I knew that my husband had my back 100%. He was the person that actually pushed me forward to say, I know you, and I know when your heart is burning for something, you will achieve it. So even though on paper it looked like, how can we bring this to Uganda? How can we allow the Ugandan mindset to appreciate what we're trying to do here? How can we get people to be excited about, watching something where they're not specifically learning how to cut onions or whatever, but they're actually learning values in an entertaining way. My husband was my champion, and he really inspired me by seeing the value in me. He inspired me to be able to just move forward and make this happen here in Uganda.
That is the reason. Ngero, you always need that individual, that person who believes in you. Even if you don't see the entire steps, you just see a step like, yeah, let's take and see how it all goes.
Just someone told me in some of the description, if you're driving at night in a car, you've got the headlamps, you can only see 2 meters or how many meters ahead of you. But by seeing that little bit, it encourages you to go forward and you can complete the whole journey. But if you say, I can only see 2 meters in front of me, I can't see what's beyond, I'm going to stop, you're going to progress in life.
Keep moving forward. Till you see light at the end of the tunnel. Now we're talking food, health, eating organic as possible. That we are looking at this competition being organic as possible. What is really so much into this? Why not?
If you can grow something from the ground and then process it yourself, like steaming it or whatever, and eat it without having any additional chemicals or any additional things to it, then why not? So what we did with Let's Cook is we made sure that the people that are cooking were not allowed to use any additional seasoning cubes or seasoning things that have additional extras in it, like numbers or MSG. So we made sure that they had to mix the spices themselves and to use them as and they were only able to use things that had natural ingredients. So they could use curry, but the curry needed to just be individual spices mixed together rather than anything else like numbers or MSG. So we're very keen on it being organic.
Yes, exactly. There is a Ngero, we actually streaming live lectures on West Particular TV, but we actually have to stream and perhaps she's also make comments. Ngero, we actually really share so much information. As we have this discussion, food competition, then it's getting to survive by really eating. What is that thing that I want you to tell people that let's break it a little bit. Getting from survival. choosing food related to values, the African values, the values that we share as a family. Those are the values as values. So why that? Where?
Because food is really important. If you think about it, food is the one thing that we gather around together. We're eating food, but we're sharing our lives. We're spending time with Jaja, you're spending time with your partner, with your siblings, all around the dinner table. And even if it's an informal thing, parties, weddings are really hot in Uganda, there has to be food. If there's not food, it's not a party.
Exactly. When you talk about something, weddings are like food. Here it's a minus, a wedding minus food. It is actually what has not happened. Someone tap into your experience, maybe in Nigeria or Ghana. How are their weddings and their performances as far as food is concerned?
As far as food is concerned,
food on the ceremony.
I think it's the same because in Uganda they have their Ugandan food, local food, unless if you choose to go, international where you want to have spaghetti and things like that. So I've been to a wedding like that. There's all the local food, but they also have international food. But in Uganda, if you go to a wedding here in Kampala, you must find matoke. You must find matoke, but you take it. Then you must find peanut paste. So there's some things that are homegrown that if I go to this ceremony, this is what I'll find. In Nigeria, there are certain things that you have to find as well. You must have stew, red stew, and you must have jollof rice. Now there's a big debate on which one is the Ghanaian jollof or Nigerian jollof, and I tend to stay out of it. Food is food, I love food. But I think usually you have those staple foods in that country. But again, it's all the same. We are used to the food in that culture, and then we're used to food in Uganda as well. But you can mix it up a bit. If you're marrying a Nigerian, add some pounded yam in there and some egusi soup. And if you're marrying Uganda, add some matoke and some chicken.
So for you, I think for you, I think the matoke oil as well as
In Let's Cook? Yeah. In Let's Cook, we use ingredients that we found here in Uganda. Of course, you can get things like egusi and fufu here in Uganda. But we just stuck to ingredients. So, for example, one of the challenges in making matoke, beef, and a carrot. Those are the raw ingredients. They have to cook whatever they decide to cook with those ingredients, and you can use the pantry to improve their meal. So, and then another one is gonja. Gizzard and gonja. So, you can find gizzard and gonja in Nigeria as well, but then people.
It is a Friday, and most of you have been saying, let's go. We are having Ngero. Her name is Ngero. In Uganda, it is the Proverbs. Ngero. And Proverbs is something we learn from. It is more educating our people to be better. Those are things we did when we are young children as we are brought up in nature. In this Ngero, we are being told how to be better. And now we are having Ngero telling us on how to be better. And you're looking at health. Why do you believe that health fits in the world? How relevant?
Do we realize that what we put in our mouth can affect our mental state, can affect how our body feels, and as a result, affect how we relate to other people? So I think it's about looking at the benefits to food and looking at how we can make food work for us rather than us being slaves to food. You can get to a state where you're a slave to food and you're craving a particular thing. But why are you craving that thing? What are the ingredients in that food that makes you crave it? So for example, if you're eating something like donuts, they're very addictive. Why? Because they've got the right balance of sugar and butter and starch. And as a result of that, you can just keep on eating that combination like mandazi. Once you have one, you can't just have one, can you? You have to, let me have the other one. It's very nice and sweet. But understanding that and making your choices based on that to say, yes, I can have the donut or the mandazi, but my brain, as a result of having those combinations, is telling me something, telling me to keep on having more when I've had enough. Because I'm aware of that, I can then choose to say, I'll just have one. And then maybe I'll have watermelon instead, which has natural sugars, it's got water, it's healthy, it's got vitamins, and I can use that to sort of substitute.
Now, Global Television, I think is a discussion we are having. Let's go. How's eating and people's values? And you'll be getting more of these tips from Elizabeth, Ngero, and the contestants because they have stories to share. And I'm a person who loves stories. Because it's a world I chose there and it's about sharing stories and everything. Now this draws me down to values. When I hear of values, there is a certain set of values that define us as people. But there is the African values. Now let me give you an example. What happens here in Uganda, particularly in the century? You know we have you want to go, please learn now. What happens in our days, what we could do as food was getting served, there was a big table, okay, like let's call it dinner, but it was a dinner match. So all of us would sit in a circular format. The dinner match was everyone takes up that, and then so it's down the was actually served in a plate. So that my mouth is watering and they're talking about exactly. So what will happen as much as we will be actually enjoying our food, it is a time when we monitor the children's growth. We will discuss the product world. I would say, oh, the way that this tree is not nice. People will really not appreciate. How about you value it? That is the time of search. Oh, Stephen is not in the mood of late. He's consistently, there's something troubling. You know, you see trouble, lose something else nice. So how are we going to incorporate such a system? Let's say the African touch in that.
And really find out what's going on. Because to be honest, today, the day and age that we're in is very busy. You know, people are working later hours, starting earlier. We're in a digital age as well. There are lots of people on their screens. So this gives us an excuse to stop, put everything down, focus on what you're eating, but also focus on the people that you're eating with. So I think that's really important. And in terms of the values, you know, we get our values from all over the place. From when we're a child, we get it from our teachers, the teachers that inspire us, we get some values from them, from our parents. So our values come from different things. But one thing that affects people in this day and age is what? Media. Right? And some people nowadays as well watch as they're eating food. So they've been accustomed to the habit of having dinner in front of the TV. So why don't we initiate those discussions about values and about what they think of a certain issue over the dining table while they're watching Let's Cook, which is coming out on the 6th of July, which is a Saturday at 7 p.m. Then you discuss about it later. What did you think of that? What did you think of what they said? Especially with parents and children, getting your child's mind to be exposed to different positive values in life that will help you throughout the rest of their life.
Discussion still continuing with Elizabeth Ngero. She's having some really good proverbs and vibes as far as this topic is concerned. Let's get for a commercial break and when we return, the Daybreaker continues.
Bringing stories and that's what the timeline is bringing. Ngero Productions is making Let's Cook. And it's bringing stories of life, which means to Ngero.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Yes, I was wondering if you would play the advert on Let's Cook, so we're talking about it.
Let's go.
Because they have that Record TV brand.
David. David. Well, do you have another about Let's Cook? You have it. So you're going to play it when you return before we actually come in. You play it or when return. Well, okay, you're playing it back to back, then I will start right away after it is played. Come.
Rectify the sound. So there's something with the sound.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you could get the sound from there. No, it's from there. Yes. So we just let them know that.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe.
It's not clear.
No, I'm thinking, how about you get a stream that is really better online? Yes.
No, but the thing is, we've told them to watch online or Record TV directly, and then this is YouTube Live to see behind the scenes. So they're like now, I know someone who's opened their Facebook page, and then they're watching this separately, that's on the phone.
Oh,
yes. So they're watching YouTube.
The caption is let's cook. Down you put health eating and people's values. Yeah. Oh,
So season 2 of the show, we have a young man who's 20 who has autism. So what Ngero Production was to do was to bring a variety of people as contestants into the show so that when people see them on TV, it starts to normalize differences. They don't see somebody on the street and think, oh, that person is strange. It's more of, oh, I've seen the person like in the media, you know, let me.
Let's switch channel. Who will it be? 3 Pasty judges, 1 to 1 village. First of its kind in Uganda. This is the Warren Food Show. Lots of contestants at the local house in the escalation. Laughing, crying. It's There can only be one winner, and you're going to make it to the final.
Let's go without eating at people's vibes. My name is Timmy Ngero, and it is the Daybreaker show that runs from Monday, Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. But because it is a Friday and we're getting into the weekend, they are giving me a glimpse into the next folk show. It will be by Elizabeth Ngero, always right here on our stage of the Daybreaker today. We are talking about bringing stories to life. Bringing stories to life.
So as you said, my name is Elizabeth Ngero, and you rightly said in Uganda, Ngero means proverbs, which are stories. So that's why we came up with Ngero production, and it was about bringing stories to life. So yes, the show's called Let's Cook, but when you watch it, you realize that it's not really about cooking. Yes, it's a means to an end, so there's cooking there, and they're competing to win the title. But it's about the stories and the lives of these contestants. And that's one of the reasons why we didn't want to go for any like players, chefs, or as judges, because we wanted the focus to be on the real people, the ordinary Ugandan that's ambitious, that wants to do something with their life, that wants to show that they can achieve beyond where other people might have expected them to achieve, and inspire other people.
You realize the stories are with the ordinary people, being said in an ordinary way.
Yes. And the other thing as well was making that standard that we become accustomed to in the media, taking those boundaries up. So we didn't force anybody to wear makeup or dress in a certain way. The only thing we told them was that because of the cameras, you had to make sure they were dressed in a decent way so we couldn't see anything with the lights and the cameras. But we wanted people to be authentic and to be real people. Because I know a lot of times in the media we're pumped out with this image of you have to do this, you have to look like this, you have to wear lots of makeup, you have to have this figure or that figure. But all I wanted to show was actually you can see somebody that just looks like you with warts and all, with pimples, with different things on them that show that they're a real person. And you can aspire to that. You don't have to change who you are on the outside necessarily. What you need to focus on is who you are on the inside. Making sure that your inside is beautiful, and people will see that shining through when you speak to them in class.
I can assure you that as Elizabeth was coming on stage, we did make up her, we changed her. We just made sure that she sticks with love, hope, and other people.
I felt like foundation, I don't know.
Yes, as we are talking about school and everything, the stories that I said, my mind is not this kid and this person, this young man, not this one question. Couldn't give a glimpse of that man, and the story is a lifelong lesson it brings to the
And I was just talking during the break with Stephen, and I was just saying that in season two of the show, that we have a young gentleman, a 20-year-old man with autism. And our intention with bringing stories to life and with Let's Cook being about diversity, about showing people what they might not be used to, was that it wasn't a special case. That it was an ordinary contestant, somebody who loved cooking, but as the fact that that's part of his personality or his person, you'll get to be exposed to somebody that maybe looks different to you, maybe acts in a different way to you. And by being exposed to that person in the media, then it becomes normal. You know, we didn't say that we were going to have all contestants to have a particular disability or all to be men or all to be women. We wanted to have a range. And we wanted it not to be a special case, but for it to be normal. Oh, I saw that person on, Let's Cook. And then people have asked the questions when they watched it that, can that person really cook? But by watching it, they can realize, well, yes, they can. They have a passion to cook. They've got their own lives. They've got their own feelings and emotions. So when I meet someone like that in the streets, instead of thinking so strange and walking away, actually you can treat the person like anyone else you would treat that you're meeting for the first time.
At times we've been looking for talents, and I thought my talent is eating. Now I must rediscover and find out whether my talent is actually in cooking.
The talent is in talking.
My talent is in talking. Beautiful. I'm just a hero has discovered another one. Talking. My talent is in talking. Don't say I eat with it. I'm not good at eating.
Oh, that's good. Are you trying to get a position as a judge on season 3 of Ngero?
Exactly. I'm trying to get my job. It is important. Now, and there's always people really popular talking at school because it's going to be real television. We'll be giving all the updates concerning the next show. It's going to be really premiered on 6th of July. And then 7 p.m. And now there is so much to be premiered on television. 4th of July, we'll premiere our celebrate more than M10. So it is M10, M10 will be premiered so much. And as we said, 3 minutes is actually our brand as you go television. This is where it is. Do you think we should really be mindful about places where it actually is?
I am. I go to places that have been recommended to me and places that I've tried out. But of course, with eating out, you cannot be 100% sure what they put in your food. That said, I love eating out. I love trying different places and experimenting on different foods. And sometimes when you eat something in a place, you can sense, you can get the sense of what they put in it and then try and make it at home. So you can do that as well. And eating out as well gives you a chance to, be with friends, with family, to enjoy time with each other. You're not thinking about washing the plates later. You're not thinking about, sweating over the banana leaves and peeling the matoke, which I have done, by the way. And so that gives us an opportunity to kind of relax and catch up with each other as well. So yeah, I guess it's finding a place that you trust, that they're going to make sure that the water is clean and things like that. And then being willing to experiment. Because I've been doing that while I've been in Uganda.
Exploring is important, but maybe Ngero must know that for places where if you're invited that this is place after eat.
On Facebook, on the Rebel TV website, but also on Producers Life in Uganda, on the YouTube page, my YouTube page. There are people live there, so hello to you. But for Let's Cook, one thing that I want people to go away with is, first of all, come and watch it on the 6th of July at 7 p.m., which is a Saturday, and it will be repeated as well at noon on the Sunday. So if you can't catch it on Saturday, catch it on the Sunday. But this is a great opportunity for families out there, for individuals out there, to learn from the lives of these 9 contestants as they compete in this competition. And I tell you a secret, which you will find out if you watch the whole show. In the finals, you will cry. So you're going to laugh, you're going to smile, you're going to cry in the show, and you're going to learn something about life in general by watching the show. So I think it's important as me as a producer to be able to show the world a better way to engage with each other. And Let's Cook will allow you to see people as they are and not reject them because they're different to you, but learn from them, be willing to ask questions about their lives so that you can improve your personal development. But thank you very much for having me on the show, Stevie. You're a wonderful job. And I have watched you on the Facebook page, and Mordecai as well, and Nora. So I clicked on the Rebel TV Facebook page, and I know lots of people out in the diaspora in America and
Yes,
the UK.
They should give it remote television every day, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. We'll have more discussions. We always have discussions. Now, if you have watched this show, I always share my greatest speak, Ngero. She's had some really good positive vibe, but she says she's inspired by loving God and loving people. It is important to always put some good in people's lives. For us as a Daybreaker, we say put some good in your morning, but it is also important to put some good in people's lives. We need to leave the world on a much better place than actually we found it. I believe it is really important. Let's spread more positive energy. Let's spread more love. Because in the end, we're not here to stay forever. And there is so much really that needs to be done. And so,
I know you like your quotes, don't you? And that was a quote that you put in there, so very well done.
Exactly. And
continues, I know it will continue on the YouTube, Ngero, but as well the discussion continues here on Record Television, but as well out there. Keep it Record Television. Chile is our brand. Good morning. My name is Stephen Michael.
The battery's running.
The batteries are. Thank you for joining me all. Here's Stephen now.
Exactly. Now we are good to go and we are living safe, but we are actually thanking you so much for being viewing as well as dropping in your comments. It's a show I would love. It's a show I would want to watch. Let's learn working together.
There we go. Thank you. Just getting the mic off. There we go. Thank you so much, Stephen.
Thank you too.
I know you start with quotes, don't you?
Yeah,
One of your show.
true,
Quote for the day.
yeah. Oh, so yes.
Yes. Thank you. Is that Daybreaker done now for the day?
Yes, it is done.
Okay, so Daybreaker is done. So if you go onto if you're on the Facebook page, that's wrapped up now.
It's not Elizabeth, I will host you again.
I'm more than welcome. I'm more than happy to come.
Enjoy that show as well.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, it's fun. Thank you. Okay, so we're just going out of the studio now, and and I'm going to say bye to you all. Thank you so much for coming in, joining in and watching on the Facebook as well. And thank you for your time, because we've been here for almost 2 hours. Oh my goodness. And Mike Times, you've been here for the whole 2 hours. So thank you for everyone that popped in. We've got Darius Kangume, Mr. Muziguzi was here. We've got Free Trader here, my brother from Ghana. We've got Esther Bagala Luyiga. I managed to fit Ochitegede in. Who else do we have in the show? We had Oyesidie, Davin. We had, I don't want to miss anyone. We had Pius. We had Pius Andurada. Is that how to say your name, Pius? Hi, Pius. We had Esther. We got Esther already. Esther Bagala Luyiga. Who else is in here? Except Esther. I'm Esther. I'm on YouTube Live. So we had Mike Times as well from the UK. So thank you everyone for supporting. Thank you everyone for coming. I'm just in the corridor now, outside the studio. That's the studio. Studio rules. What are the studio rules? Oh goodness, I didn't know about that. Do not wear shoes. Do not enter with shoes. Do not eat from the studio. Do not sleep in the studio while on air, right? Keep the door closed at all times. Yes, it says on air here now, so we've got to be very quiet. So we're just about to leave the building now. My battery is almost running out, so thank God that it stayed open. Thank you to my husband, Michael. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for waking up very, very early to come and join the chat and to go on the Facebook page. And don't forget everyone to tune in on the 6th of July at 7 p.m. on Record TV, and also Ugandan time, 7 p.m., but on their Facebook page, which is just put Record TV Facebook, and that will come up. But thank you very, very much. And we will be heading off now through the building. And Stephen did a wonderful job as well.
Hey, she's a good one. She's Ngero. She's having so much progress.
That's right. So thank you for your support, and make sure you watch the show.
Bye-bye. Keep it there always.
He's a good host, isn't he? He just keeps on coming up with questions and questions and questions.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Yeah.